As a moving business owner, your day starts with a plan. But what happens when your movers don't show and that plan falls apart? Last minute no-shows. You're left to bootstrap, jumping in as an extra body. Yet sometimes, even that's not enough. This isn't just a disruption, it's a barrier to your business growth. Introducing Moving Force, your on-demand moving team. With Moving Force, say goodbye to no-shows and hello to peace of mind. With reliable, on-demand staff ensures you're never undermanned, turning your operational nightmares into a thing of the past. Moving Force, where every day is moving day and every move is smooth. Empower your business and keep growing without missing a beat. Join Moving Force today and move forward with confidence.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Mornings with Movers. I'm not sure if our guests will show up today. Hopefully they do. But, if they don't, we're going to still crush it the way we need to crush it. Dang, time is flying. It is what? Oh, almost Halloween tomorrow.
Trick or treat tomorrow, baby.
I should have changed my, you know what? I got to change my background to make sure that, people understand where we are in the time of year.
Do you still trick or treat?
No.
No.
Nope. I think I was traumatized one year when my parents didn't take me trick-or-treating. And I was just like, never again. But
No, I love me some trick or treating, man. Love it.
That was when you can go to the store and they'll give you money at the store. Like, because they obviously do have candy, but they would just give you money.
We had a lady around the corner from the house I grew up in. Every Halloween, she was the nicest, sweet lady in the world. But every time you go up for trick or treating, she'd hand out a dime. She passed out dimes, not dime bags, but like dimes, like the coin.
I would imagine. We talking about chicken on the floor. He talking about that stuff we should be talking about on this podcast.
Chicken and dimes. This is going to be a good one. But yeah, she used to hand out dimes, in the house next door to her handed out popcorn balls that were like hard as a rock and stale. But you always had to go because they were like the two notorious ladies in the neighborhood that were super sweet. Dimes and popcorn. But I still trick or treat today, to this day.
Yeah. No, I haven't put on a suit and went out in a while because it's just been like the work life, And then, obviously my son now he's gonna be turning 1 year old this year. Like time is flying. And, obviously he probably won't really remember these times, but we're definitely gonna maybe not this year we'll do it, but probably definitely next year we'll probably really focus on having him dress up and then go out.
You just put him in a wagon and you pull him. You pull him down the street, pull him up to the house. He needs to go trick or treating tomorrow, Dwight. Don't skip a year on him. You're gonna traumatize him.
He'll be okay. But no, we went apple picking, and that was fun. He tried to eat every apple that we put in the cart.
That's probably your best bet because what they charge per pound of apples nowadays. I mean, I eat them as I go too.
I gotta lighten this bag a little bit. So all right, y'all. So what's been going on in the moving industry? What do you feel like, we can make this episode more about? Originally it was supposed to be about leadership, which I'm always down for that conversation. But what do you feel like people who's been struggling from, you having conversation with people out there?
From what I'm hearing out there, and from what I'm seeing out there, and again, different groups, what have you, but kind of the overall consensus is like now is the time. Now is to find new ways to work. Now is to change. Change management starts at the top. And I'll tell a little story later on of kind of where I feel the industry is, or if I can dive into that quickly now. I'll try to do it as fast as a minute and a half if we got time. But I see the industry. Well, let me go. There was a study. You ever hear about the boiling frog?
The bull and the frog. Yeah, I think I heard of it.
The boiling frog. So,
boiling frog. Okay.
And this is kind of how I describe the industry just a little bit, but they boiled a pot of water, right? It was boiling hot. They took a frog and they dropped the frog in the pot. Well, what did the frog do? The frog immediately jumped out, right? Because it's hot, it's boiling, it's ooh, not good. Get out, danger. We need to make a change. Don't go back there. Um, then they did the same thing right next to that other frog. They put a pot of water on there at room temperature. They dropped the frog in the water, and every hour they increased the temperature by a degree. And they did that until the water was boiling. Now, what did that frog do? Did the frog jump out? He did not. The frog died in the pot. Why did the frog die in the pot? Not because he was dumb or stupid or what have you. He just didn't realize over the course of many, many hours that the temperature was starting to rise. The pot was starting to boil. By the time he realized, oh, shoot, time to get out, he was already gone. So I kind of look at the industry like that just a little bit, right? Like the temperature has been rising around the industry for many, many years. And a lot of the owners that are ingrained in the business, that aren't leveraging tech, that aren't reaching out and really diving. Oh, you're getting spooky there. Leveraging AI. Your screen got real dark. The temperature is rising around them. They might not have felt it years ago. They might not even have felt it a couple of years ago, but now all of a sudden it's starting to boil. They're realizing that they're starting to die. Now, is it because they're dumb, stupid, slow? Absolutely not. But you slowly raise that temperature over the course of 10, 15, 20 years. You get acclimated to the point where it's too late. Now it's too hard to move forward. So I'm seeing a lot of that in the industry, a lot of companies that are like, we need to dive in. And it starts with me, ownership, leadership. No longer going to delegate, hey, bring AI into the piece, bring software into the piece. What I'm seeing now is owners taking the reins and truly learning and diving in rather deeply at this point.
We used to struggle with customers' item size and weights and the cost for inaccurate estimates. And we also ultimately had to cancel some jobs. It was when we found LiveSwitch Contact. Their video tool for quoting changed everything. We saved $5,000 in the first month alone. And our only regret is we didn't try them sooner. Yeah, like for me, it's been a huge, huge change with my leadership. And I feel like, and one of the biggest changes was really building a system on Google Drive. Dealing with a lot of remote people. It was like, hey, you know what? This isn't having a brick and mortar. This is a whole completely different situation, setup, etc. You can't just be sending files via email saying, hey, this is the latest file, make sure you use this. No, you have to be adaptive and change stuff in real time. And I feel like that's been the biggest change as far as my leadership goes. Right now with processes and systems. My processes and systems are still there. It's just putting them in different places, making them ease of use, always, adjusting them and making sure that they work for the people that we have and the positions that we have to effectively get the job done.
Yeah.
But no, like that frog analogy was actually pretty smart because like you said with the heat rising and stuff like that, and I was just thinking like they're just like, oh, it's a nice sauna, oh, ooh, it feels good in here. And
well, think about us as humans, right? Like take the frog out of the equation. If we go to get into a hot tub that's boiling, we don't know it's boiling, right? But we stick a leg in there and it is we back out super, super quick, right? Because it's hot, no good. But put us in a hot tub that's like 90 degrees and slowly increase that up to boiling. By the time we get to boiling, we're probably already dead, right? Because our bodies become acclimated with the heat. We might pass out. We might not feel it coming until it's too damn late. And like I said, it's not because us humans aren't smart enough to get out of the hot tub. It's just we just didn't feel that incremental increase all the way to the point where it was too late. And I think the industry is kind of feeling that squeeze right now.
Sure, I'm like, I'm rubbing my forehead like, God dang, it's getting kind of a little hot in here. You know what?
I've been sweating all week, let me tell you.
But no, so yeah, again, everybody. So Moving Force has had the opportunity of partnering with LiveSwitch. So your video software technology, we're super excited to be utilizing LiveSwitch in our operational approach as well. Also, for those that don't know about Live Switch, which you should by now, because what are you doing? Are you on Ether Rock? Live Switch is the virtual technology software out there that can basically make your on-sites super simple. You don't have to waste so much gas going to do a free on-site, and you can use it in your day-to-day operations with whatever it may need. Hey, you got your guys going on a job. They need to they're doing a walkthrough. They can use the video software at that point just to do the walkthrough, so that basically comparative notes with what the office took. So there's so many application approaches that you can use this for. And now, just to put it out there, and Ryan, you probably definitely know about this, but just to put it out there, their new AI tool is basically allowing you to record a video with the customer, and at the end of that video, you could summarize the video and get a detailed inventory list. Items not going, items going, exact cube and weight based on those items that was found in the picture. So now you don't ever have to necessarily do double the work. You actually have the cubic feet, you have the weight, you can give your estimate based on the weight right there. So it's Live Switch is definitely taking it up a level. And if you guys are interested in signing up, I'll have a link below the video where you guys can sign up. But I'm super proud of these guys.
Dude, James and team always has their foot on the gas. I mean, there's not a single individual over there who I haven't met or dealt with that's just not at a whole different level, right? And one thing I love about their, excuse me, jeepers, good Lord, choking on candy corn over here. What I love about their AI piece is you can talk to it as well, right? So as you're doing the home survey, I'm like, if I'm the consumer, like I'm showing my room, hey guys, everything that you see here is going except everything on the walls, right? So, you don't have to go and click, go on the walls and things like that. So not only is it the visually aspect, but the voice, which I thought was really, really cool. So if you can get your person walking through to talk with you as you go, like, hey, I'm taking everything in the living room except the couch. It's not going to have the couch on there, but it's going to account for everything else that it sees within that space. So I really love that audio visual aspect that they did tie into that. So keep it up, Live Switch. We just love you guys.
Right. So, oh man, who else is so did you so I know we were supposed to be talking with, I forget his name, the guy from Snowball, but I've been seeing some good stuff by them, like just coming out of the woodworks. And I guess he's word of mouth referral. Have you heard more about the service?
Yeah, actually, Landon Taylor and his team, again, another phenomenal group. They are doing amazing things in the industry. But yeah, I mean, it's word of mouth marketing, referral based piece. Their platform is simple, basic, easy to use, and it captures it. It takes the whole referral piece away, so your team doesn't have to worry about it. Basically, besides, hey, when the referral comes in, you're booking that move, bam. There goes some referral dollars that are automatically being kicked out to the individual. And they obviously use a little AI as well to continue the follow-ups and things like that. But yeah, if you're looking to up the game and really capture a ton of referrals, and what I really like is if you've leveraged, say you have a moving company that's done 20,000 moves, right? And then you jump on board with Snowball. In reality, Snowball can go back into all that information, all those moves, and start sending out referral links. So just because you started with them today doesn't mean you can't capture and catch up on business you might have lost last year, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, or what have you. So yeah, Snowball's a real deal.
When your team isn't trained, mistakes happen. Jobs go wrong. Customers complain. And your business? It suffers. At Max Moving Training, we help moving companies like yours build strong, reliable teams from the inside out. From mover and driver training to sales, operations, marketing, and leadership, we give your people the skills to succeed. When everyone is trained, everything runs smoother and your business grows stronger. Training isn't optional. It's essential. Stop guessing. Start training. Join Max Moving Training today.
So now, again, this is all adaptation, or however the word you would use. But basically, we started out years ago with Louis Mazzaro's approach. Amazing guy, still amazing till today. Nothing to take away from that guy. But with his approach, he taught us, a lot of the people in the industry about, hey, building a referral program in-house, And I've seen a lot of the leaders, big moving companies, incorporating it, where they're like, "Hey, we have a referral ambassador. This person is responsible for making sure that the referral program goes well. Where we'll assign people to our referral program, they can gain points. Ultimately, those points turn into rewards, and basically, et cetera. They get compensated at the end of the period." That was a really great approach, and it obviously helps with repeat business as well. We did tr non-transferable gift cards and stuff like that, just so that we get the repeat or the referral or whatever the case might be. And now you have a company like this who just says, and maybe you could still do it. I'm not 100% dialed in on what Snowball is actually offering right now. But based on what Ryan's mentioning, it's like, hey, you know what? You don't need somebody to manage that program now. You don't need to do it so rigorously. You can have a company that, its sole focus is to get referral clients for you. Get the referral clients. So one less thing off your plate that y'all don't need to have delegated to someone to hopefully stay on top of amongst everything else they're staying on top of. Yes, it's making us lazy, I know. But
it's, I mean, you're taking that one person's sole responsibility of getting referrals and generating a different type of lead. Like, I don't know what people are paying those people in their organizations, but I'm sure it's a hell of a lot more than having Landon and his team basically manage that aspect for you. So again, you're not eliminating the person that was necessarily doing that in your organization prior to inserting Snowball. You're just going to repurpose that person. So if they were in charge of referrals and generating some leads, let's put them on an inside sales team now, or an outside sales team. Let's repurpose them to bring in additional. Let Snowball and team handle all of the, manage all of that stuff. Now, you still need somebody to kind of, pop in and check out the, their app here and there to see where you're at, look at their cool dashboard and all that fun stuff. But automate what you can at this point. Otherwise, if you don't automate, you're gonna die.
It is so scary out there, yeah. I see the background. But no, it is so scary out there, yeah, because think about it. You got ChatGPT, you got Snowball, you got Moversville, you got all these third-party lead providers, you got USA Home Listings, you got Max Moving Training, don't forget about us. You got Moving Force, you got companies like Supermove. Like, there's so much stuff out there to adapt in your company. And if you do it right, you can, your business can excel extremely, extremely fast. And you could just focus on what you know how to do best, which is whether it's operations or sales or whatever you do best as a leader.
I look at our outbound dialer, right, for our voice agent that was launched a while back. And I just look at how many phone calls, some of these companies that are, doing 50, 60 moves a day, right? How many phone calls going out are their coordination team, their admin, whoever's making those outbound calls? Hey, you ready for your move? Just let you know the time's going to be this. 50 calls in a particular morning. How long does that take someone to do? How often are they connecting? How many hours are they spending making just, I don't want to say nonsense phone calls, because they're not. You're updating the customer along the way. But why not have an outbound dialer do that? So instead of a single person making 10 or 12 calls in a morning, figure out how long that's going to take. Now the outbound dialer, right, it dials all 30 or 20 or 50 or 12 or 6, depending on your capacity that day. And it makes those calls and lets the customer know that, hey, our guy's going to be arriving at such and such time, blah, blah, blah. And if the customer does have questions, it can handle it and answer it. Right now, if there's date changes or something of that magnitude, you flag it. It's going to kick it over to human and flag it of, hey, a date change is something that needs to go back to ops, to need to this, to that, whatever. But if they're going to add a small box or this or that, it's going to capture that. So why waste? Not waste, but why have somebody just sit and dialing for 8 hours or 6 hours, right? So you're really having somebody that it's taking them 8 hours to do 2 hours worth of work. When an auto dialer at this point, outbound dialer, can do all this in a matter of minutes at the same time.
You're absolutely right about that. One of the biggest hurdles I've had when I ran my moving company, my full-fledged moving company, I still have one, but when I ran the moving company more full-time, was getting the 7-day checkup call always done
Yeah.
effectively, and getting the 2-day call always done effectively. Like they will do one, but they would give me pushback on the second, and I'm just like, come on, we got to do both. Obviously that's your role, that's your job, and it was just like so much resistance. And then even if you did get people on board, are they 100% buy-in? Are they going over all of the details? Even if you lay out the script for them, are they really giving it their all to make sure that those guys are set up for success?
And how many of those 7-day calls, 5-day calls, 3-day calls? And again, I know every organization does it differently. To me, it depended on when the move was booked, right? If I booked a move 60 to 70 days out, I want more touch pieces with that to keep that customer warm throughout the process, because one of the stigmas in the industry is, hey, moving companies are quick to book your move, and then they never show up. You don't hear from them, or you do hear from them, but it's the night before at 4:30 or 5 o'clock when like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to be there between 8 and 4, right? So I always wondered how many of those 7-day calls, 5-day calls, 3-day calls actually went out. How are they tracking? How are they flagging? It comes up as a task in some cases, but why not just have this thing automatically dial out based on how you set up your program?
hmm No, that makes sense. And I know you mentioned like on the day of calling the customer. Now we had the guys do it. It just made more sense to have the guys call out when they were en route. Hey, we're en route. Want to make sure you're home, make sure everything's good. Heard that voice, and
Yep.
then was like, okay, hey, we're going out to that
So
customer.
what I like doing is the night before, customer get a PDF of the driver and all his crew members, a nice picture and a nice mini bio, right? That's what the customer get the day before. Hey, Dwight, just want to let you know, hey, your moving crew, this is your moving crew for tomorrow. It's Dwight as the main driver. It's Ryan as your lead packer. And then Cody and Tim and Tiffany are your whatever they may be. So I like that. And then obviously, instead of tasking your guys to call, when the guys get in the truck and start heading to the customer's house, why not like Uber? The customer gets a text on their phone, they can click and they can see exactly where that truck is en route to their home.
So
Yeah.
you can do that, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been out
I'm gonna
for
challenge
many,
that a
many
little
times.
bit. I'm gonna challenge that a little bit because you could do that, but the thing is, you want to make sure that customer is verified that they're home. Because some customers, hey, I got to take my kids to school. I thought I could make it back in time before the movers got there, etc. Or hey, I caught a flat. It's going to take me a little time. Can y'all come instead of between 9 and 10? Can you come around 10:30? Now we know that pushes us back if we got a backup move right after that. But that's the conversation you want to kind of have where you're like, okay, guys, what's going on? Oh, well, we arrived at the house at 9:30. Customer's not here, customer's not answering their phones. What do you want us to do? You know, and most
To me, that sounds like the communication leading up to that point. Because I love what you're saying. I do agree with you virtually 100%. But the communication leading up to that, when your crew shows up to the house and the customer's not there was a breakdown prior to. Why did that customer feel like it was okay when they knew that you were going to be there 8:30 to 9? Why are they dropping their kid off at 9:30, an hour away from the house? Now, does that happen even though you have full communication? Yes, we've all been there where the customer just, you show up and they're like, dude, what the hell? Oh yeah, I totally forgot to tell you I had a doctor's appointment. Well, guess what? I didn't forget to tell you during my presentation that we have waiting time, $250. So yeah, all jokes aside, but I think that's setting the expectations right from the get-go. I mean, I don't know how many moves that I went on back in the day where I didn't talk about having somebody present at all times in that home during the move. That way, if something went weary or there's a question, we'd have so many people like, hey, I got to go to work. Keys to my house, go at it. Absolutely not. Somebody needs to be in that home to stand in for you. And they need to know what's going on. Because I can tell you, I had many moves where I went in a home and the customer's like, everything in the home is gone. Just pack it and get it gone. We packed it, shipped it out to Southern California. And the customer's like, where's the dining room table and chairs and the sofa and this and that? Like, I sold that with the home. You guys got to bring that back. It needs to be back in the original home. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You said everything. A, I have it on audio video from Live Switch. But two, this is the reason why we say you need to stand in your home. But
Oh, they don't want to hear that now. You done made them mad. Like, what do you mean? You guys supposed to, y'all guys, I told y'all to take that closet back there. I told you to do this.
Well, here's, and this ties back into what I always preach, having a extremely detailed inventory, right? That the customer signs off on. They review, they sign off on, because I had in the dining room the table chairs as going. I had in the living room this as going. And then when the real estate agent stepped in, because of course the customer was at work, didn't want to deal with it, real estate agent signed all the paperwork that we took everything that we were supposed to took. Everything was good, all right, no damage. And then when it went out to the other location, of course, that same customer didn't want to be a part of the delivery. So what happens? The person standing in, the real estate agent out there, checks the boxes on that they received everything that they were supposed to. So when this person took us to court saying that we needed to ship all this back and it was our fault, not only did we have the audio video of them saying everything in the home goes, we had the cube sheet that was the detailed inventory that was signed off on, and then we had origin destination paperwork that was signed off on. So it was the easiest case that I think I've ever won. In a court system, which we all know, if movers end up going to court or what have you, typically they lose, even if it's a small, even if you're 100% right and there's a small little issue on a piece of paperwork, the judge is going to sign in the consumer's favor. We know that. So this one was a signed, sealed, delivered, quick look. Hey, sorry, this is on you. If you want it back, they'll ship it back, but it's going to be at a cost. So, but again, proper inventory, documentation, all that good stuff, and having processes and systems in place to stop this is the best thing you can ever do, as I think we all know.
Yeah, and like I said, it's it's two ways to kind of approach this. I don't know if people actually walk around with a cube sheet, or not a cube sheet, but like a inventory list, and just say, hey, you know what, this item was going, this item is going, this item is going, this item is going. How much time that actually takes up versus, just hey, moving the whole house, like, oh, hey, everything is going. Okay, cool. We can wrap everything. We don't have to worry about it. But like you mentioned, in long distance situations, yes, I can understand a cube sheet. For locals, I think you probably want to keep it a little more simple because you're charging about an hour versus flat rate. So time is not on your side in most cases. Um,
Are you in search of a side gig? Get ready to land the ultimate side hustle. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Join Moving Force as a mobile mover. Enjoy the freedom to set your own hours, earn excellent income, and be your own boss. Apply now. Download the app for free, available on the App Store. It's time to make a move, both figuratively and literally.
and
I did it on locals as well. And here's why, right? We weren't the cheapest movers in the block. We were more expensive than our hourly rate was higher. Everything was higher. And we were okay with that, right? But when it came down to a price aspect of, hey, why is, I don't want to say ABC moving because it is a company, but why is XYZ moving, $250, $300 less than you are? And I would tell the customers, I don't care about the price. Let's walk through the inventory. They'd pull up my inventory, then they'd be like, you know what? I don't have an inventory from the other company. So are we moving the same thing or are we not? Yes, we might be more expensive, but I have a detailed list of what we're taking, what we're not taking, what goes where, how, when, why, how, what have you. Versus the other company just gave them a price over the phone. So the comfort level, it was all in the presentation, the value provided. I took the extra 30 minutes, to do a virtual, not even 30 minutes. Sometimes it was 10, 12. You can do a virtual survey in 10, 12 minutes on a 2,500 square foot home if it's done properly, right? Then you can go back and watch it if you skipped a room or you forgot something or whatever. But then more importantly, you can show your crews what they're walking into. Because we all know I can't believe how many companies send their crews in blind. And there's no right, wrong, or indifferent. I would say everyone has their own little niche of how they do things. But, if I'm a moving company owner, I'm not, hey guys, yeah, you're moving a full house today. Yep. Moving everything. The whole house is going. Well, what is inside that whole house? Are there pianos? Are there crazy stairs? Are there gun safes? Like, how are they capturing all this versus, hey, I'm moving a 4-bedroom home. Oh, it's going to be 12 hours. I'm sending 4 guys.
Now, don't get me wrong.
That was just me. I overdid that, but that was all part of the value and the level of service that we provided. Yes, I could have blanketed many moves and just said, sure, yeah, you know what? We got a 4-hour minimum and I'm thinking it's going to take about 7 hours. Here's your price. Boom.
Yeah. No, and you're right. Some people still do it that way where they're like, oh yeah, we think it's going to take 7 hours, but we're just going to start off with a 3-hour minimum and you're gonna be looking at this to get into the door, da da da, da, etc. And it's like, okay, well, what is it gonna be at 7 hours? Because that
Yeah.
customer might be budgeting that, oh well, nah, they could probably get out of here in about 4 or 5 hours. They're not gonna be here for 7 hours. And they
But
never knew what that price was. So for me, I was like, hey, you know what? Here's the price. You're going to be looking at about $1,200. We're going to do our deposit based on the $1,200. And then if we get done sooner, we'll charge you for the time that it took, you
yeah.
know?
And then also having that detailed inventory, because you always have customers that say, well, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this before the move. I'm going to give this to my daughter. I'm going to donate this. Or, I'm not going to take that. So I'd put, item not going, item being donated to daughter. I would have separate areas for that. But then I'd also tell the customer, hey, I've seen what happens. Your move is in 4 days. Your daughter lives in 3 different states, 3 states away. It doesn't seem like she's coming into town. You say you're going to purge, donate, but you have 3 kids, they're in sports, this, that. I'm going to quote the move based on everything that you showed me, including the purged items, donation items, things of that nature. So my quote is probably going to be higher than what it should be. However, if you do the work you say you're going to do and you eliminate those 15 pieces, you're probably going to fall around down here. But just for purposes, I've seen this before. I'm going to quote you at removing all of this stuff. And the more you do, the less your quote will be. So it kind of gave the customer peace of mind, but it also kind of gave them a back route where if they don't get the shit done, which most of them don't, they still know what the price is going to be. Now, if they do put the work and they do say what they're going to do, their price is going to end up being less than what was quoted. So, but again, many different tactics. Those are all just different selling tactics that I used. But also, again, I wanted to know what we were touching. Are we touching real wood? Is it oak furniture? Is it pressboard? I want to know all that stuff. What were the floors in the customer's home? Is it white carpet? Is it Brazilian hardwood? Because I'm going to bring different floor protection for Brazilian hardwood than I am for white carpet.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see all of it. I wanted to see every little aspect, including, hey, where's our stand at the front door and show me where the truck can park. The low hanging wires, trees, because every consumer out there, oh yeah, you can pull a truck up front. Yeah, you're in Boston, overhanging trees. It's a one-way street. The street's only 10 feet wide. No, we can't park a truck there. Just because you can park your Cooper Mini there, your Mini Cooper in front of your house, doesn't mean we can park our 26-foot truck in front of your house. So
Yeah, so if you guys ever have any questions on how you can use video technology to help with your on-site surveys, getting the inventory, seeing the long carry, seeing the where your truck can park, so you can measure the distance and how much time it will take you guys to get from the truck and to the customer's residence and back. Definitely schedule a call, one with Live Switch. Reach out to Ryan as well and myself. We can kind of give you some tips and advice on areas to focus on, so that you can make sure your quotes are a lot more accurate. Your presentation is a lot more cleaner. And, hey, you're getting more maybe upscale customers, whatever the case may be, whatever your focus may be. But we are at the top of the time, y'all. It's always a pleasure. Time is always flying when we have these great conversations.
it's too short. You got to go 45 minutes.
See? But all right, y'all. So enjoy your Halloween. Turn up, be safe. Make sure you're checking the candy because we're in a weird world. Sorry to say, but get those nickels and dimes from the corner stores though.
Yeah.
And not the nickel and dimes that Ryan was talking about in the beginning of the video, y'all.
Not Dwight's chicken on the floor. We're not going to talk about that.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care.